Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk about, or more like show you, all the series that I have reread in the past few years, and I'm also going to make another video in which I'm going to show you all the standalone books that I have reread in my life. So let's get started. The series that I have to start with is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, and this was the book that made me want to read a lot more, and for that I will always love this series a lot. And of course we have Twilight and New Moon, Eclipse, and I'm going to drop them, and Breaking Dawn, so I'm going to put them down now. But yeah, I think I have reread these books maybe 4 or 5 times, and they have a special place in my heart and always will. Oh, and also they were the books that made me read in English, because when I read Twilight, I actually read it in Hungarian, but back when I read Twilight we didn't have New Moon translated into Hungarian, so I had to pick up the English copy for New Moon, and I just had to make a sacrifice and read it in English, but oh boy, that was a good decision. And after I have reread Twilight a million times, I wanted to read some new books, so I googled what to read after Twilight, and the first, I think, series that came up was Vampire Academy by Richelle Mead, and yeah, I'm a bit obsessed with these books. I have all my favorite scenes marked, so basically any scene with Dimitri in it. So yeah, as you can see, I love me some vampire books. I'm not going to deny that I love vampire books, even though I know people love to hate on them and stuff like that, but I still love them, and this series is one of my favorites, like ever, and it has Vampire Academy, Frostbite, Shadow Kiss, Blood Promise, and I'm going to drop them again, Spirit Bound, and I have to put them down, and the last one, which is Last Sacrifice. These books are my babies, and this series is my baby, and Dimitri is my baby. That's why I reread this series so many times, and I want to read it now again and again. And the next one I'm going to show you is another popular one, and that is the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. And that is City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, and then this was supposed to be the whole trilogy, but then we got City of Fallen Angels and City of Lost Souls, and this cover is so pretty, I can't even. But yeah, I love this series so much, and I remember that when I read the first book, I kinda didn't know what the hell was going on, so it took me a while to understand the story, but boy, I was hooked after that, and especially the third book. I just have so many feels for this series, and I can't wait for the final book to come out, I think in the spring of 2014, I'm not sure, but I can't wait, and probably I'm going to reread at least the 5th book before I read the last one, if not the whole series, because I just love it that much. Another popular series that I have reread a few times is the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins, and that is The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay, and yay, I can hold them in one hand because only 3 books are in this series. And I read Hunger Games, I don't know, but it was in the early days when not a lot of people knew about this book, and yeah, I'm one of those people who get kind of mad when other people start to like the same things after I have loved those things, but don't mind me about that. But this book, oh my god, when I read this book, it was just so new and so unique and so awful. I mean, the story of it, not the book itself, but just the idea and the concept. But I think I could reread these books a million times and not get bored of them, especially the first and the second book. I am kinda iffy about the third book, but when I reread it, I couldn't remember why I didn't like it the first time, and I was reading and couldn't understand why I didn't like it. But then again, the last, I don't know, 80 pages happened, and then I realized why I didn't really like that book. But of course, I think everyone everyone has read this series, so but if you haven't, I recommend it a lot. The next series is one of my favorites like ever, and that is the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and it has obsidian, onyx, opal, and the fourth one, origin, with sexy Damon on it. So yeah, I'm going to hold this one up because it's Damon and he is good looking. Yes, you are. Anyways, so I read this book before it became popular, but I don't care because I love her. Now a lot of people appreciate these books and just love these books because they are so good and so addictive, and they have Damon in the books who is like perfection. Even though at first I just really couldn't stand him. I mean, he was just too much and way too rude and way too arrogant, but of course then we realized he's the biggest sweetheart on the earth. This is a sci-fi series, I think, and it has aliens in it, which is kind of new, and I think this was no, it wasn't my first Alien. I have read I Am Number 4 before, but that doesn't count because this is so much better, and I just love this series so much, and I want to reread this one too, like right now. And for my last two reread series, I have adult series, so, and I haven't really heard anyone talk about them on YouTube, but they are just so good. And the next one is again one of my favorites ever, and it's the Fever series by Karen M. Moaning, I think. And in this series we have Dark Fever, Blood Fever, Fae Fever, Dream Fever, and the last one, which has a different cover, and it's the official one, so I'm mad. That is Shadow Fever, but I'm going to hold this up because it's so pretty again. But oh my gosh, this series is just so good, and I don't know why it's not popular on YouTube. Maybe because it's adult, I don't know, but it's not like it's very adult, so it doesn't have, no, I don't think it has a lot of sex in it, but this is about a girl whose sister got killed in Ireland, and they are from America. So when Mac hears about her sister's death, she travels to Ireland to basically investigate how she died, and then she meets this man, this very mysterious man who I just adore. He's one of the best. So yeah, I have a pretty big crush on barons in these books, so everyone should read it because it's just so good. And maybe the first one is not that great, but then it gets just so much better, and everyone should just read it already because these are really great books. And the last series that I have reread a few times is The Chicagoland Vampires by Chloe Neal, I think, yeah. And it has Some Girls Bite, Friday Night Bites, Twice Bitten, Hard Bitten, and Drink Deep. So yeah, if you haven't guessed it, it has to do with vampires as well. And that just shows how much I love me some vampires. So, but these books have the ugliest cover, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I really love how the spines look on my shelf because they all match, and I just love it when my series match. And this is about a girl called Merit who gets turned into a vampire, but she didn't really want that, but she had no choice basically at the end because it was either death or becoming a vampire. So this series is about how she deals with being a vampire and belonging to one of the 5 big vampire houses in Chicago. And oh my god, the male main character in this one, Ethan. So yeah, he is one hot man, and I always imagine Ethan as Eric from True Blood, so that's not bad, right? So I don't know, I just love this series so much. And even though I still say they should just stop already with the books because I think we already have like 7 books out, and we don't really need more because then we lose all the excitement of the story and the series, and it just becomes repetitive. But I recommend this series so much, along with the Fever series, because they are adult series, and I don't think a lot of people have read them on YouTube because I think on Goodreads they are quite popular. But anyways, they are just really good, and I love to reread all of these. So there you have it, guys. Those were, I think, the 7 series that I have reread quite a few times, and I will always reread them because they are just so good, and I recommend all of them to you if you haven't read them already. I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment if you want to, and thumbs up this video if you want to, and just thanks for watching. Bye guys.